And then this past week, the president called that video you participated in sedition. You heard me read what he said again this morning: sedition at the highest level and a major crime. Do you have credible threats? How concerned are you about your security at this point?
Well, Margaret, what the president said is very serious. I didn't think he would step over that line, calling for the execution of members of Congress. And his words carry tremendous weight, more so than anybody else in the country, and he should be aware of that. And because of what he says, there is now an increased threats against us. I'm not going to get into, details on my personal security, but as the husband of Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, I understand what political violence is. The president should as well. Just like Gabby, somebody tried to assassinate him, and he should understand that his words could have serious consequences.
And I remember just weeks ago hearing from the president and other Republicans about the need to dial back the rhetoric after the tragic shooting of Charlie Kirk. When it comes to
what happened to that? I mean, that was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Where are they now? We've heard very little, basically crickets, from Republicans in the United States Congress about what the president has said about hanging members of Congress.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Why aren't we hearing from your Republican colleagues? And in terms of your security, I understand there was a request for you to get a boost in Capitol Hill's security support. Are Republican members on board with that?
I don't know. I've heard them say, very little about this. I think, the president tries to intimidate them. He tries to intimidate Congress. He looks at government accountability as a nuisance. And I think it's really important for people to understand, Margaret, that the message he sent a couple days ago was he declared that loyalty to the Constitution is now punishable by death. Those are serious words coming from the President of the United States. He's trying to intimidate us. But Margaret, I'm not going to be intimidated. You just heard Jason Crow. He's not going to be intimidated either. We both served our country. We swore an oath. All we said is we reiterated what basically is the rule of law, that members of the military cannot follow illegal orders.
Well, on that point, in terms of lawful and unlawful orders, it gets complicated for rank and file to understand. I understand, and other networks have reported, that the senior judge advocate down at Southcom raised serious doubts about the legality of the strikes on those alleged drug boats, but was contradicted by lawyers at the executive branch. Have you spoken to the Southcom commander? Are you hearing that there are unlawful orders being given?
Well, we're hearing the same thing that you are. The administration hasn't shared much information with us. I read the legal analysis. It was just like the briefs. They're tying themselves in knots trying to explain why what they're doing with regards to these drug boats is legal. And it's questionable at best. One of our biggest allies, the United Kingdom, recently stopped sharing intelligence with us in the Caribbean because they question whether this is legal or not. We've been asking for more briefings from the right people. We have not received them, but the information that you just shared with me is the public information. I don't have much more beyond that.
Well, and the French government has said it's a violation of international law and the law of the sea. That's what our allies are saying about those strikes.